Hey guys, it's the Fields Bros here. We have some fucking NBA offseason 2017-2018 breakdowns for you. We're going to discuss all the trades, Lonzo Ball, the draft class, the Knicks, the Lakers, the Pelicans, the Sixers, everything under the sun. So Brandon, how are you doing today?
Doing really good. Excited about NBA always. Always pumped for that.
Hell yeah. How do you feel about the Jimmy Butler trade? I thought the Cavs were going to get him.
The T-Wolves traded Zach LaVine, who's coming off an ACL tear, and Chris Dunn, who's a pretty good guard out of Providence. So you're trading that. You're getting a guy who's basically carried the Bulls and Jimmy Butler since Rose went down years ago. So basically, I would give the Bulls or the T-Wolves an A on the trade. And in terms of what I'd give the Bulls, I'd say like a C.
Right.
Because you're getting a guy who's coming off an injury, so you're taking somewhat of a risk with that. And Chris Dunn's not as good as Jimmy Butler, so definitely a really good trade for the T-Wolves. And the fact that they have Tibbs as their coach, that was a big impact on him going there. Same with Hayward in Boston, like we'll get to later.
Right. I think Chris Dunn, he's an athletic player.
Very
he's supposed to
athletic.
be good. He's supposed to be pretty good. He was compared athletically to Russell
But he still
Westbrook.
needs development. He still needs development, and he needs to have minutes played on the court.
Right. How do you feel about the recent Gordon Hayward trade or signing with Boston Celtics?
I knew it would happen. I had a video where I talk about Paul George on here going to my Thunder team, and I basically said that the fact that that's his old coach, and they were the number one seed in the East last year. He's probably going to go there. He was talking to Miami, but I'm not shocked by this at all. I definitely expected him to go to Boston.
The Sixers, not the Sixers, but the Celtics also got Jason Tatum in the draft. He's a ready now player. He has an NBA body. He can come in and shoot. He's long. He can get to the rim, and he's a knockdown shooter too. So he played for Duke. He's coming out of Duke. So I think the Celtics are trying to make a push and saying, "Hey, we're not just going to stand back. We're trying to win now. We're not
definitely improved.
We're not
They
waiting for
improved.
LeBron to get old. Like they're trying to win now. They're getting better. They're not just staying
I
back.
think as good as the Cavs, not quite, but they're taking steps.
Your Paul George Thunder team, how are they going to do?
Hey, that's what I'm excited about. I couldn't ask for a better trade. We would have had Serge Ibaka this year on his last deal of his contract if we hadn't traded him to Orlando for Oladipo and the 11th pick, which became Domantas Sabonis. So we turned Serge Ibaka into Paul George for this season, essentially. So
Right.
that's what I'm talking about. And he has a player option along with Westbrook, so they could both come back and play together. So we gave up Oladipo and Sabonis. So we're paying Oladipo at least $20 million.
What grade do you give Indiana in the trade?
A D plus.
Oladipo ain't shit, man. I'm telling you.
Oladipo was going to sell tickets there because he's from Indy, played college ball in Indiana. That's what they're banking on, but they're stuck with him for 2 or 3 more years at $20 million.
I got to get this off my chest real quick. I am so pissed that star players are going for a bag of chips. How can we not trade Kevin Love for said Paul George or Jimmy Butler? And look who they get traded for. Chris Paul, he gets traded for Patrick Beverly. How can we not trade?
Gordon.
How can we not trade Kevin Love? Like, how is Victor Oladipo's bum ass? Yeah, he played at Indiana. How does that matter? How does Victor Oladipo get traded for Paul George, but we can't unload Kevin Love, a quality player? And you can't tell me Indiana take Oladipo on that team, they probably win 32 games. Put Love on that team, they're probably pushing
42.
for 40s.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're still competitive, and fans still have a star player to cheer for. How could we not trade Kevin Love? That just pisses me off.
Oh, for sure. But OKC, fantastic trade. Absolutely. I was thinking about this like during the playoffs. Like if we could have Paul George, like he's carrying his franchise.
You said Westbrook, he's going to attract some guys. He did. He attracted a lot of players, some players to come to him. Maybe he's going to get more. You guys drafted a good young player. So
yeah, and Paul George is finally going to have this is the first time that
Roberson don't have to play 3.
Oh, I kind of wish we didn't re-sign him, but we did.
I'm just saying, outside of Durant, Westbrook, he's always played with a bum.
Hey, we're going from starting Andre Roberson, the worst shooter of all time, who averaged like 4 points a game, to starting Paul George.
Insane.
That's the biggest improvement in a starting player for anybody so
I'm
far.
saying since you guys didn't start Harden when he was there, Westbrook paired with him in the backcourt. His two guard outside of Durant, obviously at the 3. You had Tabo, and now that Durant left at the 3, you had Roberson. This could potentially be the first year he doesn't have a bum at the 2 or 3 slot.
And the thing is, we're only paying Paul George, I believe, like less than what JJ Redick's getting paid by the Sixers right now. So we've got him on a really nice 1-year deal.
I can't believe Oladipo, he was getting paid more than Paul George. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so they ate the money, and we got Indiana's best player for nothing, basically.
How do you feel about the Hornets getting Dwight Howard?
Well, definitely, I'm not too sure how to think about it. How good are the Hornets going to be now? Or does anybody see them as a top 4 team? I think they could be a 5 or 6 seed if Kemba Walker can stay at an all-star level, and if Dwight can be like his old 15 points a game and 14
he's like
rebounds.
a 13-9 guy now.
I'm pretty sure he was a double double last year.
Right.
I want to say it was 13 and 12.
Right.
I could be wrong, but that's what but I don't know. Centers aren't as valuable as they used to be.
Right. Which gets me into the Pelicans. How do you feel about them pairing 2 big guys? I'm on the record saying it doesn't matter because the league has shown it's proven. It's a proven experiment. You have 2 guards paired together like a Wall and a Beal, a Lillard, a McCollum. You have success. Pairing 2 bigs right now in a league that runs.
I think it can work if you weren't the Pelicans, and who has the worst set of wings in the entire league.
Solomon Hill.
They don't have any 2s or 3s on the entire roster. So
they got Drew Holiday.
They paid him because he's the only good guard they have. He's the only guy who can actually start in this league for the Pelicans. So they need to get some freaking wing players. They have no wing players at all. They need to get at least 3 wing players who can shoot, dribble, and pass effectively and get the ball down to those guys. Right. Solomon Hill, he's going to get tore up by almost everybody in the entire league.
Right. How many wins do the Pelicans get?
As they're built right now, 30. They're like a 35-win team.
And that's sad with 2 great guys like that. You know what I mean? If you have, how good are they really then? If you only project them to win 35 wins.
Well, they need some perimeter players. Even if they both average 25 and 15, that's only 50 points.
Right. Holiday can get you.
The rest of the team's going to have to. The rest of that team can't give you 60 points.
Right.
They're valuable if you have if they had some average wing players, they'd be okay.
Right. How do you feel about all the Sixers' young talent?
I like the Sixers. They've got
and how they got it.
Yeah, because they stunk for a bunch of years in a row on purpose. Basically, they understood that only way to get good is to build through the draft. If you don't want to sign bum free agents like the Lakers and waste all your money, so they built through the draft
class,
and now they have some good teams. And I'm sure other teams out there wish that they would do the same thing and build through the draft. The Knicks don't even try to be bad. That's the thing about New York.
The Lakers. The Lakers are getting ball. How do you feel about Lonzo Ball? Big baller brand. Lavar Ball. I have to give him a shout out. Lavar Ball. How do you feel about Lonzo?
They're doing their thing. They're right where they thought they would be. They're right where they said they would be.
Are you going to buy the ZO2s
when
you get your money?
I'm not buying any big baller shoes.
You're not getting them?
Nah, you ain't getting my money, Lavar. You ain't getting mine.
You ain't getting his.
Everybody else says it, you ain't getting mine.
All right, so how strong of a draft class is this, A or B?
An A, for sure. Definitely an A. I think there's a lot of these young guys can definitely play.
A quick 30-second touch on Chris Paul. Rockets.
The Rockets are going to push the ball every play for 48 minutes. There won't be a time in the game without one of them on the floor, Paul or Harden.
How many wins they get?
58 wins.
58 wins for the Rockets. And the last topic, the Pistons. New arena, the Little Caesars Arena. We're moving into Detroit. What are your expectations for our team, Detroit?
Well, since Chauncey Billups turned down the Cavs, maybe he can maybe get the Pistons spot somehow.
He can finagle his way into Detroit.
Come help us, Chauncey. We're struggling.
How many wins?
20.
Damn.
We're gonna have an awful year.
We're not gonna play up and I think
we were bad last year.
We have the roster to win 35.
We went to a Sixers Pistons game last year, and they got blown out by 25 or so points. At that point in the season, Philly had, I think, 1 or 2 road wins. They were like 2-17 on the road.
Right.
They come into the Palace, and it's 30-11. And Philly was trying to be bad. They didn't even play anybody.
Right.
They tried to lose the game, and we just...
Embiid didn't play.
Like, if you get blown out by the Sixers, like, I don't know. We were terrible last year, and I don't expect anything else this year.
All right, guys. That's the Fields Bros. That was a quick NBA discussion. 10 minutes is quick for NBA. Trust me. Peace.
Later.